Hello, happy first day of spring. I'm so excited. Okay, guys, so today, well, a couple things I want to talk about before we dive into the topic, just as reminders. Today was an auto ship. We have one auto ship left for the end of the month. A conversation that I had with two or three different promoters yesterday, and then Sandra Delbeck mentioned it again today. The 25% off promo for customers ended yesterday. The double triple is still happening. That is through the 26th, you guys. That's a completely separate promo. So one is done, but one is carrying on. And then over all of that, don't forget, we are still in Operation Winning through April. So I know it's a lot, it's a lot of stacking of promos and it's a lot to keep track of. But just remember, if you get confused, you have a team page you can go to, you have an upline you can go to, you have your cloud that you can go to where all the emails are, where everything is explained. So we are still in double triple and we are still in Operation Winning. The promo that ended yesterday was totally separate. It was for customers. It was a glitch that panned out really well for us. So that was just like a little gift from the big man up above. Okay, so excuse me. Apparently I'm hitting puberty here. I wanted to talk about, I don't know, I went through a couple different rounds in my head this morning, but today is the kickoff of a new season. And I feel like we deal with so many seasons in our life and in our business, and they don't always jive. Like you might be having a really great season in your business and having problems in your personal life or vice versa. But then I really started thinking too about regardless of what season a person is in, regardless of what season your business is in, this springtime, this renewal of the sunshine and the hope and all the good things, and then just the good old fashioned nesting instinct for spring cleaning. I want to talk about spring cleaning your business, your mind, all the things. And so I would really prefer, for those of you that can, I would love for you to unmute and talk. I would love for you to show your face, but I know a lot of you are at work, so I get that too. But I want to talk. I just have a few things. I'm going to start the conversation, but it's not going to be me this whole time. Okay. So when I think about spring cleaning, my business, one of the things that comes to mind immediately is my mindset. You gotta spring clean your mindset. But on a more literal fashion, do you guys have where this is backwards? See, there's product back there in that basket. Do you guys have a little basket or a shelf or a cupboard or a box or something where you have some product in your life, right? Spring clean that. Put that in mailers and mail that stuff out. Don't let it, I should not be letting that sit right there, right? That should not sit there. Granted, it's Elite vanilla shakes up at the top. So, but why did I order those? Because I was going to sample Elite. Well, how am I going to sample it when it's sitting right there? Right. So in a very literal fashion, to spring clean your business, spring clean what you already have by giving it away. Get rid of it, sample it out, promo it out to your teams. I also think it's down here, but there's a box. There are some thriving magazines, some striving and some thriving magazines. They do me literally no good in that box. But when I put them in an envelope and I mail them to an existing customer or maybe a non-promoting promoter, they do a whole lot better, right? So think about what you can literally spring clean in your business. And then think about what you can figuratively spring clean in your business. So one of the things that I wrote down too, this is actually a literal one. How many of you have team pages or team chats and you need to remove some people? You need to get rid of some of the dead, right? Some people have just dropped off the face of the earth. Some people have moved on to other companies, whatever. It just spring clean them out of there, right? And I don't want anyone to take any of this and be like, I have to clean for the next 84 days. No, take 5 minutes today, go to your chat or your team page, do what you can, and then move on. Set a timer and move on with your life. I'm not asking for people to be perfect, but I just feel like the activity, the energy that you put into spring cleaning, whether it's like the product on your shelf or it's the people on your team page, that will come back to you. Something else you could be spring cleaning, your social media. How many of you are in groups that you don't participate in? Again, set a timer, 3 minutes, go through your list of groups on Facebook, remove yourself from any group that you are not using. I know there once was a time where we were told to get into every possible group and all the things. And so maybe you joined, I don't know, 75, but you're only active in one or two. Get rid of the other ones. A, it's good for your algorithm to clean that stuff up. B, it's good for your brain to clean that stuff up. Like when you go into your groups and you're seeing all these things you're not a part of, or you're like, I don't know, it just kind of, it'll eat away at you, like without you realizing it. So again, not asking you to spend all day doing this, but these are just some things that you might, I don't know. I feel like in the winter we get blah, we get bored. How many, like there are so many people who probably joined different groups in the winter because you were bored, or you were trying to do something like, oh, I'm gonna, one afternoon, like I'm gonna join every whatever group possible, and then now we got to clean that up. Okay. So some other things I was thinking of, and this is where I would love for you guys to start chiming in with your ideas of spring cleaning, things that would help with your business, because here's the tricky part about our business. Because we're self-employed and because we're in health and wellness, to succeed in this particular business even better, we need to spring clean things like our mindset, our routine, our health, our refrigerator, our daily habits, your phone. How many of you could use it? I could use a spring cleaning on my phone, and it panics me every time. I try to spend my time on an airplane going through my pictures, and I did do that a month ago, but it's already backed up. I don't know. I don't know what my deal is with pictures, but I take a lot of them. And then are there some apps on your phone that you could be spring cleaning? Like, what are some apps that if they weren't on your phone, you would get more done in your life? Right? And it's not that you can't have those apps. Maybe you need to hide them in a folder so that they're not on your home screen. It's kind of like when you clean something in your house and it's like something that's sitting out that you only use 3 times a year, but for whatever reason it's on the kitchen counter, right? It doesn't need to be there. It's taking up space. So if you have an app on your, like, let's say TikTok's on the cover of your phone or on your homepage, but that you're not actually a TikToker. Maybe you're not really making TikToks, but you're on it a lot because it's on it, right? So I'm saying, so maybe hide that, put that in a file someplace else. I know I'm gonna look at my phone really quick since I'm seeing things I should be getting. My Allegiant app should maybe move to the second page because I do price out flights a lot. And you know what? They're like, so I was just looking on I don't know how it all works or what to call this, but on my second page of my homepage, boards was on my, so Allegiant should move over there and boards should come to the front, right? There are different things like you can do this to just help your mindset and your productivity. And again, I know these seem like probably some small activities that maybe aren't that important, but in the long run, they can be very helpful. How many of you have that moment on a regular basis where you're like, oh, I want to share that picture, or oh, I want to get that, so-and-so asked me about the hair, skin, and nails. I'm just looking. So Charlotte and I were having a conversation yesterday about the proteins of hair, skin, and nail. And I knew at one point I had screenshotted that, but I couldn't find it because I didn't have it in the right album in my phone. So I had to go into my thing, end up into my cloud, screenshot it again. Right. So just little things like that could actually make you more productive in the end. So now, for those of you that are able to, I would love to hear from you as I've been talking and kind of throwing these things at you. What are some things that you feel like I need to spring clean this, or if I spring clean this, it would make a difference in my business? Just unmute and chit chat. We're casual here. Sandra?
Product, obviously, but I do want to know where everybody gets their little Mylar mailers. I know they get them from Amazon, but there's so many different ones out there, and I've got a ton of the seasonal ones, but they kind of fall apart. One of the things I know I've got to do for my business to streamline it and so forth is this little to-do task that I had asked my sweet husband, Charlie Delbeck, to copy for me, and he did it like so backward from what I would do. It is not working, people. So
but your printer is fixed now.
No, not yet, because the printer's fixed, but the reset won't reset. So because I do have this handy dandy print paper in my printer or in my planner, the group that I'm in that has this, a lady had an idea of her to-do tasks. And so I'm going to use this blank page for those to-do tasks so that it's not on a separate piece of paper that's another piece I'm trying to keep up with.
I like it.
Here. So that is on the agenda for today as well. And then the mindset piece of it, this is something that Samantha gave us in January. And we were moving pretty fast. I knew it was going to take a little bit more work on my own part. And I still have to finish the What Lights You Up paperwork. I still have to finish writing the letter to myself. And so this is something that is front and center on my desk this week that is getting done.
So kind of those unfulfilled tasks.
That work
Checking
on your
them off
mind.
the list. Yeah.
Yes, that work on your mindset. And then Samantha sent me a little quick 10-minute thing this morning, just a little bit ago, about something she and I were chatting about this morning with Courtney and Carolyn. And I'll send it to Carolyn if Samantha didn't already do that. But anyway, it's about some stuff we were talking about this morning on Meeting of the Minds. So I've cleaned my office of all the clutter, but I haven't streamlined it and spring cleaned and made my sample packs yet. That's something I can do. This morning when we were doing our Meeting of the Minds and we were doing our affirmations, I recorded mine last week.
Good.
Okay, I couldn't find my recording.
Oh, okay.
So this morning I moved it as one of the main things. So I've moved it out of a place that it was obscurity, moved it to where it's front and center, and I can click on that several times a day if I need to for my mindset.
Good, good. Again, these may seem like small tasks, but in the grand scheme of things, they're going to make a big difference for people. A lot of you are working multiple jobs and raising children and running in and out and doing all the things. And so if you can make it easier for you to accomplish what you're trying to do with your business, it's going to make a big deal, a big difference for anybody. Anybody else have some spring cleaning they're going to do, or that they thought of like, oh, hey, I need to spring clean this?
I need to spring clean my recipes because I have a lot of healthy and low carb or whatever, all different kinds. And people ask all the time, well, how do I eat, or what can I eat? They need ideas. Well, mine are like, they're all mixed together. So that's something that I need to work on. Like my recipe box, it has my grandma's recipes, my mom's recipes, and low carb stuff all mixed in together. So that's something I need to do so that if someone needs help, that I can find it, because sometimes you need to catch people when they're in the mood.
Yeah.
Like maybe I don't have an hour to find that. They're going to be going, oh, whatever. Sometimes you need to have that on hand. So that's one thing that's real important to me that I do.
Good. As you're coming across some of those healthy recipes, you could share one or two in Vibin' and Thrivin'. Don't be shy. We're all looking for good recipes, so don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Okay.
So who could use help, or who could use, I think we could all use it, but how could we go about doing some spring cleaning with our mindset? What's some of the dusty cobwebs from all the way back at Christmas that like have, have just set in the back of your mind that maybe need to be worked on? What are some different things you guys could do for spring cleaning of your mindset? And while you're thinking, I'll just tell you, like, immediately off the top of my head, like when I think of my mindset, that automatically makes me think of my daily routine, because it's during my walk that I listen to my podcast. And that's really what like kind of starts my day and gets me in the right mindset to get rid of the negative crap and watch podcasts. Sonia says, I need to figure out my I ams and say them every day. I need to also read every single day. Yes, I think reading every day is very important. And I ams are something that I've struggled with too before. And I feel like to cut yourself some slack, if you have to start, you could get some generic I ams off of like Pinterest or Google just to get into the practice of saying them. And then I feel like the more you say them or the more you spend time with them, you can get more specific with them. Like when maybe it's like, I am strong, or I am fearless. And like after a couple of days, you're like, I am a strong, independent woman. Like, you know what I mean? You can start customizing and wording yourself to where it feels more comfortable. Because I think sometimes just to sit down and write out, I don't know, maybe it's the pressure I put on myself with this master list of I ams, I start to panic. Like, what if I'm forgetting something, or what if I'm not saying it right? Whereas if I just kind of give myself a break and ease into it, I think that one's good. And so Sandra was talking about recording yourself. So same thing with your I ams or your affirmations, or maybe your daily, whatever it is you do on repeat every day, recording them, and recording them like on your cell phone and putting them in an album that you can find easily. That is something that, let's say you're super busy, or maybe you've had a stressful day, you could literally pop in your earbud, and while you're driving or doing the groceries or folding the laundry or whatever, you could be listening to yourself say that on loop, on repeat. And it's very powerful to hear your affirmations or I ams in your own voice back into your own head. Because remember, you listen to your own voice all day in your head over and over, and she's not always saying the nicest things. But so when you listen to that recording, that voice is saying the good things. Anybody else have ideas for spring cleaning for your business? Oh, letting go of this is Lisa Cook. Letting go of things that you can't change. Also, Ed Milet says if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it. I think that's very appropriate. I also think that's easier said than done. But very appropriate for sure. Letting go of things that you cannot change. So that's a big statement. You know, and maybe you can tackle that from different directions as far as a devotional or a book or a podcast that kind of talks about ways to deal with things, accepting things you can't change. Maybe it's a matter of you having an I ams or affirmations where you just keep saying, I accept the things I cannot change, and change the things I cannot accept. And we've all know, you know, the rest of that. But I think there's lots of ways to go about that one. And then think about this one too. And it could be for lots of different reasons, but Lisa's made me think of it the most. Sometimes the people that you're spending time with, whether face-to-face or online, they're not the best for you. There might be some accounts that you're following on social media that are sucking the life right out of you. Now's a great time to clean them, get them off of your feed. Same with some interactions with adults, other adults in life that maybe that suck the life out of you. You don't have to spend time with them. I mean, unless you're married to them and then it's time to get counseling, but there are people in your life who you are running into or you're spending time with that are toxic for you. Courtney says, staying firm about your choices. Yes. Not giving into things or people that aren't serving you. Yes. And so this makes me think back to Samantha at the beginning of the year where her word and her theme was boundaries, like setting the boundaries of like what you want for your life and then holding those boundaries. Like, so here's just a story. I always feel like a 5-year-old, but when we get on any kind of like bus or limo, I have to sit in the front or I will get sick. And so last weekend there was a party bus. All the girls went to the back and I sat all the way in the front and they kept yelling my name. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Like, I don't know, it was like a 30-40 minute drive and they just wouldn't stop. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So we finally got to where we were supposed to be. And I was like, hey girls, I don't want to be sick all night. And if I sit back there with you, I'm going to feel like crap. And they were like, oh, I'm so glad you didn't, like let us sway. What did they? I don't know. They knew straight up they were trying to peer pressure me to the back because they were drinking and having fun and they thought that would be fun. What if I had been like, oh, I want them to like me? And by the time we got to the place we were supposed to spend the next few hours, I was already sick and ruined my whole night. And I know that's not a daily activity for all of us, but that moment where you have to say no and you have to hold your ground, that is a daily activity for all of us. There are things in your life that you know make you sick, whether it's like heart palpitations and anxiety sick, or it's like legitimately sick. And you are firm about saying no to it. Like you can tempt me with all the ice cream you want. I'm going to say no because I'll be sick, right? It's the same thing with people, places, and things. And routines. Like there are routines that you get into and you know in that moment doing that routine that it's not the best for you, that you're not going to feel the best. It's not the way you want to be. But yet for whatever reason you're not standing firm for what you really truly want. And that's when you have to like check in with yourself. So absolutely not giving into people, things or people that aren't serving you. I like that one. Kara said, I recently have been having panic attacks. I'm trying to figure out why. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, something's causing it. I mean, it could be a person, a place, a thing. It could be an environment. It could be food. It could be something you're listening to or watching. There's a million things that could be causing that, but you got to figure out what it is. Because if you don't, it's going to keep happening. And that's a heck of a way to spend your day for sure. Sandra, you came back on picture. Were you going to say something? No. Okay.
No, I was just looking for some Aleve.
Oh, I heard you had a headache today. It's spring in Ohio. Welcome. All right, guys. Anybody else? Anything else that you'd like? Oh yeah, go ahead. See, I knew you had something.
Do the things that are hard. The things that make you dive into the scary parts of you, or the parts that you feel like are scary, or the parts that you don't want to dive into. Don't keep putting them off. The book Future Boards, there's still a few pieces of homework I have to finish from those chapters, because they were hard pieces of homework that were making me look at pieces of me that I didn't want to look at. Don't put those off, because it's when you do that that you grow. So spring clean this stuff, not throwing it away, but accomplishing it and going beyond it.
Yeah, spring clean the procrastination. Get rid of that procrastination and dive into the things that you know are going to take you into a better place. Okay, well, I'm excited to see what you guys end up spring cleaning over the next couple of weeks. I know for a fact there will be literal things, like I said, like magazines and product that will be going out the door because it's not serving me sitting back there. And there's probably some people, placing things not serving me that I'm going to have to get rid of in my life too. So just remember that when you do these small steps, and some of them aren't small, like the stuff Sandra was just talking about, and the things Courtney mentioned, like those are hard to do. But even small steps like taking off the app from your phone or cleaning up your office physically, those are things that will help you grow as a human. And anytime you are growing as a human, since you're an entrepreneur, that means your business will grow in the interim because of that. Because to be self-employed means you have a lot of stress, you have a lot of unknowns, you have a lot of excitement, good, bad, and ugly, right? We have a lot of that. And so the things that we can control, like our environment, the more we get a handle on that, the more we can handle the excitement of like a promo getting dropped at 2:00 in the afternoon, or, you know what I'm saying? Like I honestly had this moment when they dropped double, triple. I told Samantha and Lindsay this. I was having like this great day. It was really sunny. It was pretty. I just felt like, I don't know, I was having a great day. And I was like, double, triple. Like, damn. Because I could literally feel like my whole day just like spiral out of control. And I was like, okay, I got to sit down. I got to think. I got to calm my nerves. But just imagine if my whole life was in an uproar in that moment when that happened. I probably wouldn't have even acknowledged there was a promo, right? But at least because I had a handle on a lot of stuff going on, I could acknowledge the excitement that came from that promo. So anyway, small steps, big payback. Thank you guys for participating. If you think of something after the fact that you're going to spring clean, let me know. I like to hear from you. So we have a corporate call coming up at 1, and Lunch and Grow. There's a graphic somewhere. I forgot to share it, but it's in here. I'll find it. So see you guys later. Bye.